Hey, this is Kevin Roy, Product Marketing Manager at Impact, and today we are joined by Tony from CBDistillery to have a chat about some commerce content initiatives and their partnership program. And Tony, if you could introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about CBDistillery, that'd be great.
Kevin, thanks for having me. My name's Tony Schwartz. I'm the Director of Strategic Partnerships and Affiliate Programs for Balanced Health Botanicals, which owns and operates CBDistillery as a flagship brand. And vast majority of what I focus on are performance-based campaigns hosted on Impact and other network partners, which help and support the e-com business at CBDistillery, as well as, more specifically, acquisition of new customers. So mostly what I do is looking at partnerships across a variety of different partner types that help the brand acquire and as well as retain customers.
Could you tell us a little bit more about CBDistillery, what kind of products you guys sell? I know that the CBD market is quite a highly saturated market. So maybe how you guys are different from competitors.
Yeah, thanks for that question. You're right. There's so much competition, and especially in the last year, we've seen some consolidation of the market size a bit, and some compression. So it's an important, and even despite that, it continues to be a very competitive space. So CBDistillery was founded in 2016 by a group of Coloradans who noticed a few things that were happening within the industry. One was that products were very expensive. There was a lacking in terms of education, and also a lacking in consistency, quality, and transparency. So what the founders really the vision that the founders brought into, and the ethos that the founders brought into the brand is, that everyone deserves access to really affordably priced, high quality, and pure CBD and cannabinoid products in general. And a big part of what they were doing differently back then was trying to equip consumers with more information as it relates to these products and how much CBD was contained within these products, as well as providing them direct access to lab reports that were published by and reviewed by a third party, in order to equip and instill a little bit more buying confidence in the consumer. So not only coming in at a price point that was more affordable than the competition, but also coming to the table with more objective information and resources like the CBD user guide that the brand publishes every year for free for download.
And you touched on a little bit with the inception of CBDistillery in 2016. How did your partnership and/or affiliate program start? Was that something that was established kind of from day one, or did it take a little bit more time to really establish that type of program?
It's a great question. One of the other differences I think that CBDistillery, from a business model perspective, is that our executive team and the co-founders early on really wanted to invest heavily in the e-commerce business. So much research and reporting was done by Brightfield, showing that retail was this great channel for distribution, wholesale relationships, obviously, and also afforded brands the opportunity to get their products in front of shoppers in a really kind of a meaningful way. And I think what CBDistillery and what our Chief Growth Officer, Chris Van Dusen, invested in early on was, again, doubling down on the e-commerce business, trying to get out in front of online purchasing habits. And a big part of that was launching an affiliate program back in, I believe, 2017. So I believe it was just a few months after the brand was founded that the affiliate program was launched. And this program has been managed by everyone from our CEO, VP of marketing, now me. And so this program has had a lot of visibility on it. And in the early days of the affiliate program, the prioritization was around partnerships in the CBD publisher space. So specific websites that were publishing content within the industry, the context of the industry. And also those websites early on were getting really great prioritization from Google within the purchasing decision, the path to purchase from a consumer perspective. So we won in the affiliate space by aligning with really good quality, trusted sources of information, um, always trying to remain cognizant over what was being said on these websites, right? Like, so really having that sense of quality assurance and making sure that we're aligning with publishers that are putting out and publishing really good quality information. And so, so this program has been around for several years, and the evolution of it has been fantastic to be a part of.
And so you touched on this as well, and I wanted to bring this up, and I think this is a good segue into kind of the next topic. But you mentioned that you guys have been working with publishers for a while, and given the type of product that CBD is, and I know you guys had talked about, you published user guides and things like that. How familiar are you with commerce content? Does that play into what you guys, essentially the types of partners you're partnering with? From my end, it would sound like you would be it would be very intuitive to partner with those types of educational publishers where they're talking about, why you should use CBD or how you should use CBD or current dosages or things like that. It seems like a match made in heaven, if you will.
Commerce content is a critical and central strategy to our affiliate program, and that, commerce content as a sort of an opportunity and a partnership opportunity for us is one that needs quite a bit of unpacking, because consumers are meeting a variety of different publishers at a variety of different points within their purchasing decision. And so content continues to play such a critical part of that purchase decision from consumers. And you're seeing publishers really double down on investment in commerce content. At least that's what I've been seeing over the last 2 years in this space specifically. For us, commerce content like you described, where there's education around what CBD is, different formats that you can find CBD. So you can find them in tinctures, gummies, topicals, soft gels. You can find them in a variety of different formats. What we're finding is that consumers really are looking for an article that is going to not only describe to them what these products are, how they might benefit from using these products, and then also a curation of brands and or specific products to consider. And what we're finding is that there's a variety of different types of content that really convert well and that perform well in the commerce content space. Some people are looking for a specific product recommendation of, say, a CBD oil, whereas another individual might be looking for recommendations for CBD that helps address symptoms of stress, or specific CBD products or cannabinoid products that are helpful for achieving a better night's sleep. Those different sort of paths in consideration and purchasing require us to be in multiple places at once. So we not only want to be part of the best CBD oils list, we also want to be a part of a roundup that includes products that are helpful for mitigating symptoms of stress.
So I wanted to touch on, and you mentioned it, it's just expanding that list of publishers that you guys work with. And, I've heard from other brands that getting into commerce content, starting a commerce content program, from the brand side specifically, can be a daunting task. And it depends on so many different factors of how do you try and get your product in front of a publisher, who do you even reach out to at certain companies, certain publishers. What's been y'all's kind of process around that as it relates to maybe when you do start to expand into more publishers? If you could kind of just walk through what that process looks like from reaching out. Are you sending product for review? Just kind of more information about that I know that a lot of people watching this video would love to hear.
A really critical partnership that I've been an ambassador of is the partnership between or in the alignment between our affiliate program as well as our public relations efforts. So our PR agency, 5W out of New York City, we really tag team a lot of conversations with editorial teams around what the opportunity is, who CBDistillery is as a brand, how one can earn, obviously commission and revenue from aligning with the brand if they so choose to, include us in their roundups, gift guides, what have you. So that partnership has been really critical because we've been able to have conversations sometimes simultaneously with the commerce content team as well as the editorial side. And then for me, I really sort of, I'm always reaching out on a direct basis. There are so many different ways, like, the skim links of the world make commerce content a little bit more feasible and more efficient for publishers that have a variety of different brands hitting them up. And we're just one more brand in that whole communications process. So we certainly appreciate and respect the fact that publishers want to be efficient with their time, but I always prefer to have direct relationships. So, I'm using, not only, web contact forms, LinkedIn, looking at listings on Impact, always trying to develop those direct relationships so that even if the publisher wants to use the skim links and implement those efficiencies, that at least they have someone on the brand side to get in touch with. So my focus, and I'm sort of laser focused on just having someone, a name, a person on this side to be able to communicate with, and really that process never stops.
Yeah, it sounds like you're using almost every avenue possible to maintain those connections and build those relationships, which is great advice. As it relates to specific dealings with publishers, I know that publishers have, as of late and probably pretty traditionally, felt that certain last click models don't necessarily incorporate what their content has to offer as it relates to getting accurately commissioned for driving a sale, driving acquisition, what have you. And so would you mind talking about kind of how commerce content deals are structured on y'all's end? Are they hybrid models? Are you guys using CPA in conjunction with CPC in certain categories or circumstances?
Most of our deals, I can confidently say that all of our deals are CPA deals. We have, and this is not just specific to us, but within the CBD industry as a whole, because it is so competitive and because so many brands are coming in and trying to, it's essentially a land grab. What we've noticed is that other much smaller brands, lower converting brands will come in and are willing to come in as a loss leader in terms of CPA deals. And some publishers respond to that, but other publishers, I think, are wisening up to the idea of, well, sure, we might be able to pull down, XYZ amount here on a CPA deal or a bounty deal. But when we look at comparatively the volume of, let's say, organic traffic that this brand is getting versus that brand, I think publishers are wisening up to the idea that, a really amazing offer in a CPA deal is only worth as much as the brand is able to convert. And I think for us, we have been extraordinarily fortunate to be in a position to convert at or above industry standards since the inception of our program. Having said that, there are other deals and structures that have been, kind of explored on our end, whether there's CPC, CPL, even, kind of taking the CPA deal and looking at other different kind of structures around it. We've kind of played around with a variety of different structures, but I'll say that what's been really refreshing is that CPA deals for us, based on how well we are able to convert, and really quick shout out to our web team for CBDistillery, who's putting so much effort, energy, and resources towards converting that traffic. It doesn't work without them. We've been able to come to the table as a long-term viable revenue partner for our publishing partners. And I think what other smaller brands are saying is that rather than being able to come in as a CPA partner, they're having to come in as a CPC partner. And I think that makes a lot of sense for some of these publishers who, want to supplement the advertising dollars that they're seeing from sponsored content, branded content, display, email, what have you. I think that makes a lot of sense for the smaller brands. For us, we've been able to prove out really healthy EPCs with the CPA model, and we've been also able to incorporate incentives that no other brand has in this industry.
When it comes to kind of the longevity of these partnerships that you have, are they reaching out to you guys? Let's say you've established a partnership with a certain publisher. Are they, once that relationship has been established, are they then reaching out to you guys when they want to post a new top 10 CBD list, or as it relates to a specific type of product? Or do you guys work pretty close together beforehand, or what kind of cadence does that have with your more tenured partnerships?
It varies, really. So, on occasion, getting that agreement in place on impact and getting those terms and conditions kind of nailed down and agreed to, and making sure that the program is accessible in that way is one critical step. And then from there, I really try to take it upon myself to proactively reach out, introduce myself. Hey, I'm Tony from this brand. Please let me know if I can be helpful. Can I send you products? Can I create a discount code? I think if I'm taking a step back, the honest answer is that I'm more proactive in those conversations in terms of just, anything and everything from new product launches to offers to new campaigns that are available, new ad sets that are available for download on Impact. I'm really trying to be in the driver's seat as much as I can from a brand perspective. I'm also trying to do more in bringing empathy and understanding of publisher KPIs that they're looking at for their brand partnerships. So that's a constant conversation that I'm trying to also have proactively with my publishing partners is, what are the metrics that you're looking at from these pieces of content as measurements of success, and how can we deliver on that on our end by making sure that our comp package is set up for success, that we're going to be knocking these earnings per click, metrics out of the park, and, that our conversion is great. It's interesting because, of course we want to be on the top of every single list and be the number one best overall. But what we're seeing in the commerce content space rather, is that oftentimes now in this stage of the industry, top placement doesn't always mean the best performance on the page. And so we're less, that was part of my role here, was kind of coming in and taking stock of what was happening in the commerce content space and what our place was within it. And I feel like we were so adamant in the early days of like best position, number one position, all that kind of stuff. And now what we're saying is, we want to be on page, and we want to be in a position that I think that puts our brand in a category or a ranking system that really appropriately matches the ethos and the value system of the brand. And if that's top position, great. If that's third position, that's fine too. If that's fifth position, we're not as tied. I mean, we push for number one, but we are open to kind of sharing in the space with other brands. The work never I mean, anybody that's on the brand side, I think, could tell you the work never stops. You could work a 60, 70, 80 hour week of proactively reaching out, trying to get involved and included on certain lists, and acquiring new partners and optimizing new partners. So the communication is so critical.
When it came down to, selecting really the right technology provider to facilitate the commerce content program that you guys have built, what has stood out about Impact? What features are you guys really taking advantage of the most? Kind of how are you guys really using the tool set that Impact is able to offer you to benefit you guys?
It really has been a matter of, I think efficiency is like the word that comes to mind with Impact, as well as we can grow into Impact, where, when you look at other brands that have thousands of SKUs that host their activity on Impact, we're not quite there. We have much fewer SKUs. So the efficiency piece is critical. And what I mean by that is not only the ability to prospect, reach out to new partners, but also host activity, utilize Impact as a payment processing partner as well, directly into the hands of our partners. And being able to do that all under with one partnership has been absolutely critical. In the days of old, we were managing all those processes independent of each other and not within the same network. So when we migrated over, we were able to realize so many different matters of efficiency, and be able to use our time more productively towards activity that is going to add value to the program without having to worry about the tech plan being really airtight and implemented. And that's another piece that I want to speak about too, is that for us as a brand, we have many different commissionable opportunities as part of our affiliate program. And part of what I've been trying to build is a program that commissions out on all of the different ways in which customers are meeting us for our publishing partners. And so when I talk about that, I talk about, the fact that we have a subscription program where people can subscribe to our products and have them automatically shipped to their door without ever having to reorder. We want to make sure that those subscription orders are also commissionable to our publishing partners, because the subscription program has become wildly popular among our consumers, and therefore it's adding value to our consumer base. And we want to make sure that, for our partners that are driving people into that subscription program, that they're rewarded as well. And so we've been able to go to Impact at every single iteration of our brand strategy and how we plan to win and differentiate ourselves in the e-com space. We've been able to go back to Impact and say, can we include subscription as a commissionable activity and track that in Impact? The answer is yes. Can we track subsequent subscriptions that happen automatically in the background? Impact can help us track that. Can we implement a product catalog feed that's extremely efficient and discoverable for our publishing partners where that's relevant? We can do that. So there hasn't been that one. I mean, efficiency is the word that comes to mind, and that manifests in a variety of different ways.
Thank you so much for coming on here. Absolute wealth of information as it relates to commerce content and all things partnerships. So I really appreciate the time, Tony. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.